From San Francisco, it's Bill Rafferty's Good Time Cafe. And now, here's Bill.
Hello. Welcome, you guys at home. Welcome to the Good Time Cafe. It's time for us to get started right now. Our first gentleman, I got a soft spot in my heart for this guy. You gotta like an Irish guy from Boston. That's the way I look at it. He is one of the funniest guys working in San Francisco today. We just recently finished our own San Francisco International Stand-Up Comedy Competition. He was in the finals. Believe it or not, when he was living in Boston, he used to work, I gotta ask him about this after the show. He used to work with a punkabilly band. I don't know what that is, but we'll find out about it later. Ladies and gentlemen, he is funny. Tom Kinney, come on out, Tom.
Thank you, sir. All right. How you doing? Oh! How you doing? Wow. Good to be back in San Francisco. I've been everywhere in the last month and a half. I did 2 weeks in the Deep South, which is pretty frightening when you look like I do. Think about it for a second. It's because I pay $900 a month in San Francisco for an apartment the size of a Candyland board, so you got to do that stuff. Whoop, you're in the kitchen, lose a turn, you know. Dining room, spin again. The wacky Frisco apartment game. Anyone can play. So I was down south. I know I'm getting further and further from a real city when people start looking at me and saying to their friends, "Hey, Clem, come here. You gotta see this damn guy here. Come here. Hurry up. Come here. He heard me. He's walking away. Come here." There he goes. Look at him. You think if Woody Woodpecker and Buddy Holly had a baby, it'd look like this guy here? Actually, I was like staying 12 miles up the road from Heritage USA, Jim and Tammy Baker's amusement park. Yeah, that's pretty amazing, huh? I went in there. I just wanted to see what a Christian amusement park would be like, you know, Christ Berry Farm. Come on in, you know, I just wanted to see. Tammy wasn't around, man. I like Tammy Baker. You know, people get down on Tammy. Every time she cries, it looks like a Peter Max painting from The Summer of Love. You know, I think that's beautiful. I think she's nice. She's got those huge false eyelashes I've never seen any other woman wear, man. These huge curved false eyelashes made of wood, you know. I finally figured out that Tammy Baker's false eyelashes are the things that tipped over the Flintstones car at the end of the show. That's what happened there. Fred, Barney, give me those. Remember leisure suits? Everybody had one. That was the height of sartorial hepcatness in the 70s. Orange polyester things with big elephant bell bottoms and lapels the size of Texas, you know. Remember those giant 70s collars? Lapels in the 70s were huge for no reason, man. You catch a good breeze, you don't have to take the Muni where you're going. It's unbelievable. Yeah, I don't know, those big 70s collars that hurt other pedestrians you pass on the street. Good morning, how are you? Oh, you and your leisure suits. Oh, man. It was fun. I went to a baseball game at Yankee Stadium when I was back east. That was pretty bizarre. I like baseball. My dad's really into baseball. My dad always thought baseball was very beautiful. He'd get really cosmic about baseball. You know, Tommy, baseball is made up of so many diverse ingredients. You got the physical prowess of the players. Got atmospheric conditions, the wind, the rain, the moon, the stars. That comes into play. Got Lady Luck. She's always in there snaking around, doing her thing. Lady Luck permeates. And when it all comes together and it juxtaposes, sometimes it's so beautiful, you might as well be watching a ballet. 6 years old going, "Gee, Dad, I don't know. I never saw Mikhail Baryshnikov hawk a loogie on the ground or scratch his privates before he does Swan Lake. I've never seen that happen." It helps me with my pirouettes, you know. I guess it's possible to have too much money. I never thought of that before. And then Michael Jackson bid $1 million for the skeleton of the Elephant Man. That's one of the 9 warning signals of having way too much cash in my book. There's 8 other ones I can't think of right now. What would you do with the Elephant Man skeleton once you bought it? You know, you'd have to yell at your friends every time they came over. You've got this thing in your living room. It's very fragile. Guys, you know, I'm not trying to be a jerk or anything, but, you know, don't put drinks on the Elephant Man, all right? Don't do that. You know, put a coaster down first if you got to do it. Why did he want that? I mean, I'm a pretty weird guy, but even I don't know what makes somebody wake up in the middle of the night and go, "Hey, you know what this house really, really needs? Just to perk up the den a little bit? Skeleton of the Elephant Man. I'll be right back." I was thinking today, you think Michael Jackson was watching the Pope on TV saying, hey, where can I get one of those cars? That's a really stupid object that I don't own. I think the Pope got the only one. I don't think those are real movers on the used car lots. You know, all 86 Pope mobiles must go. Come on in and see Cal. Every time I saw the Pope driving around in that thing, I expected to see lottery balls blowing around in there with him. Thanks a lot.
Thomas! Thomas! Yo, you did my favorite joke.
I did it. That was a request.
That was your joke.
That was a request. Dial 1-800-JOKE.
The Mikhail Baryshnikov joke about baseball is my favorite joke, and I asked him to do it backstage, and he did it for me.
I did it for you.
Tell me.
I love you.
I love that joke. Tell me what a punkabilly band is. I don't know what this is.
A punkabilly band? Well,
Yeah.
it's kind of like the Sex Pistols meet Eddie Cochran in a blender. That's kind of what happens.
You're telling me a little bit more than I want to know. Tom.
Oh,
Anyway,
okay.
we'll be right
Don't want to
back
get too
right after
graphic.
this. Tom Kinney. Trying to make myself comfortable because I'm bringing out our next performer, and I really want to have a good seat to see him because he is an excellent comedian. He has had the distinct pleasure of opening for Elvis. Ooh. Well, Elvis Costello. It wasn't the. That was who it was. Anyway, this guy is. The thing I like best about him is he is a rabid Giant fan, and I always run into him at Candlestick Park. We've had him on before. You've seen him on. Yeah, right. We're talking fall classic now. We've had him on before. This is his second appearance here on the Good Time Cafe. You have seen him on Nickelodeon. You've seen him on The Morning Show with Mariette Hartley, and now you will see him right there, ladies and gentlemen, John Ross.
God. Thanks, Joe. Very much. Holy cow, nice to see all you people. How are you? Hello, folks at home. I apologize before I even start if there is any difficulty understanding anything I'm saying. I'm having a lot of problems speaking clearly and succinctly. I'm wearing corrective gear inside my head. I have braces. I know they're a little hard to see. They're called invisible braces, predominantly plastic, but nevertheless a nightmare. There is some slurring. I understand that. No need to point it out. There is some hissing on the S's and some extra saliva for you folks right down front. Keep your fingers crossed. Maybe some food particles. I'm not promising anything because I have absolutely no control. It's not a cosmetic thing. I'm quick to point that out. I think that's important. It's a thing where the dentist has been on my back for about 2 years going, John, you've got malocclusion. Your bite's off. You're grinding your teeth. It's getting really bad, and you've got to get braces. And I said, come on, Doc. I feel okay. I think I look okay. I don't want to get him. But the dentist has scare tactics. You know how they operate? Well, John, you know, in 10 years, you're going to look like this. Oh! They show you a picture of some guy from Deliverance with a mouthful of chiclet. I don't want to look like that. So you sign the deal, and you go to get the braces. Now, who had braces here when they were younger? Sure, when your parents are paying for it. I'm not bitter. Did they have to pull out any of your teeth to put them in? No? You? Now, they didn't tell me that until afterwards, and they gave me a choice, whether I wanted a local anesthetic, you know, Novocaine, or, you know, total, which did you get knocked out? No, the smart way to go, because when you get knocked out, in the end, you feel more pain, because when they knock you out, they rough you up. Do you see what I'm saying at all? I mean, if you can look the guy in the eye, he's forced to show you some sort of deference. He has to be somewhat delicate. Once you're unconscious, as far as they're concerned, you are a temporary cadaver. They don't care. They got you in a headlock. Foot up on your chin. They don't care. They can do anything. I'm not saying they're going to dress you up in a brownie uniform, start snapping photos. But at that point, it's their prerogative. I think what I'm trying to say is once you're unconscious, your argumentative skills drop off dramatically. Almost negligible. So I went with the Novocaine. He turns around and gets the needle. All right, here we go. Ready? Little pinch. Here we go. What is that move? What is that? That makes you look goofy, and he enjoys it. That's all. There's very little else to that. He's got a dull job. He's a... Oh, this is great. Nurse, get in here. Bring the Polaroid. And the brownie uniform. He's going to be out in a minute. Actually, it's not too bad. I had to go to my 10-year high school reunion wearing them, which was awful. The high school reunion was kind of interesting in that the same people grouped together again, right? Right away, as soon as we get there, all the jocks run right together. And then all the really smart people, the intellectuals. And then the really popular people. And there was me and my friend. And it was nice to see my family, in particular, my niece and nephew. My nephew is the most frightening infant I have ever run across. He is, first of all, abnormally large for his age, 4.5 months old. He's huge and growing like that plant from Little Shop of Horrors. It's so scary because he eats like a rabid German Shepherd. I thought infants were hard to feed, you know. Here's the airplane, come on. And they spit it out. This kid, you know, a cat can hear a can opener from about 20 miles away, comes flying over. That's what this kid is like. My sister's got him strapped in that little seat up on the counter, and his head's sticking out one end, and his feet are sticking out the other, and she's mixing that goop up on the stove that she feeds him. As soon as he hears that, his eyes glaze over, they roll into the back of his head. My sister's weeping because she knows she's birthed some kind of a man-beast child. And I'm telling you, she can't scoop that stuff into his head fast enough. Oh, God. Don't hurt me. And she's getting to the bottom. She's getting scared. She's scraping it up. Almost gone. That's it. Last bite. Oh, God. You must know where to get more. Honk that ring. 4.5 months old, he goes bowling by himself. My niece seems so much older because she's been going to school for so long. I think she gets too much of her education, though, from television, though. I try to help with her education when I get the chance. I like to read her stories from the Bible, and then, of course, change the ending. I sit her down, and Noah looked to the heavens and said, God, when you told me it would rain and the lands would flood, I believed you. And I built this mighty ark so that we might be saved. But I pray to you now, tell me, how much longer will these rains continue? And God said, well, Noah, let's go to the satellite map. Thank you very much.
Good to see you again. You too. Good stuff. Excellent stuff. Stay right there. I wanted to ask you. Something. I was listening to the set, and it was a good set, but you said you went to your high school reunion.
Yeah.
Did you tell them that you're a comedian?
A lot of people had seen it on the Arts and Entertainment Network. How about that?
On this show?
I swear to you, I say on this show, and I kept saying to myself, boy, did I get residuals for that?
Get off my stage, John. It's like, John Ross, we'll have him back again. John Ross.